Welcome back everybody to episode 18 of the Minecraft Let's Play. Thank you for joining me today. So I have some interesting plans for today, and those involve making a villager breeder. So if anyone has tried to make a village before, they can understand that making enough houses and making enough doors to breed a large number of villagers can be quite a challenge. And so I've decided to kind of ease that burden off myself. I'm going to make myself an infinite villager breeder. And it's actually not quite as hard as it may sound. It's actually pretty simple. And the technique I'm going to be using today has actually already been carefully laid out on a YouTube video, which I'll be linking in the description. But I'm definitely going to need to clear out this area right here. Need to torch this all up and kind of flatten it out so I can build over here, because this villager breeder needs to be 64 blocks away from my village. So I'm going to go ahead and start clearing this place out, and I'll get back to you guys once I have a nice little area kind of set up here. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, welcome back everybody. So I went ahead and cleared out this area and planted down some dirt to make it look a little bit better. Once the grass grows back, it'll look a lot nicer. But yeah, I plan on using this area for the villager breeder, which I'm going to probably try to put in that little corner right there, and then maybe have a pathway going this way, maybe around towards the dark oak forest, because I kind of want a way to be able to get to the mainland without having to ride my boat everywhere. I don't really have any bridge or anything. I'm actually thinking about installing a bridge that either goes from there to here, or from there to there to there. Pretty sure, I think this would be the best one, because what I plan to do is actually make a rail that takes the villagers from here and drops them off at the village way over there, and it'll have like a little railroad bridge that kind of crosses over. So that'd be kind of cool. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with the basics of the build. So I'm not going to go through everything in too much detail, but what I am going to show you is just kind of like the run through of the basics, and then if you want to do the rest yourself, you can just take a look on the video in the description. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just place down my base here. I want this to be one off the ground so that my rails will be over the water instead of on it. And you want to have a 5x5. I have a 4x5. There we go. So I have a 5x5 area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my corner that I want to go towards the village. So the rail is going to pick up the baby villagers from this corner right here, and it's going to go off in that direction towards the village. So everywhere around that, I'm going to build glass. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, build up a 3 wide area, and then have some light gray stained glass here. Alright, welcome back guys. So I've been busy working away here, and I have the first part of the villager breeder started here. So if you're watching the video along with me, you'll know that there's the little water block in the middle, and then I have to put the villagers inside that water block and then push that slab and that glass pane into place. So I went ahead and grabbed the first villager from my village here. So in order to make villagers, you have to take villagers first. So I'm going to take this useless leather worker here, and I'm going to put him inside there. So I went ahead and set everything up to make it nice and easy for us. And there it goes. It's already in there. And then all I have to do now is just break that minecart. There we go. And push him into this little hole. Bada bing, bada boom. That was super duper easy. And then the next step is to get another villager from my village over here and get them over here. By the looks of it, I have 2 more villagers. I have 3 more villagers available to me. One's a cartographer, and then I have my 2 librarians. I need 2 more villagers to make this thing work, so I'm thinking about grabbing that cartographer since I don't really need him for anything, and then I'm going to grab the other useless librarian, and then I'll just keep my 1 good librarian here. And then once baby villagers start popping out of this thing and going to that village is going to fill up so quickly I won't know what to do with all the villagers. So definitely good to have this thing, but it's also going to cost me a little bit to get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the other villagers, and then I'll get back to you guys once I'm ready to get this thing started and going. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, here we are. I don't really know how to describe this object that I just built, but it kind of looks like a mixture between a radio antenna, and a lighthouse. So for right now, we'll just call it the villager beacon or something like that. Villager beacon looks good because it's like harvesting the energy from the sky and then channeling it into the villagers to impregnate them and produce baby villagers. Whatever you want to call it. Anyways, the villager beacon is turned off right now, and it's not going to work until I give both of these villagers a bunch of food, because they need food in order to make babies. So, everything is built. I double-checked that it's okay to have the glass in that formation. It doesn't really change anything. The glass needs to be there to prevent lightning strikes from destroying the doors. The villager inside there, if you can see him, is a nitwit or a greencoat villager. Basically, those villagers are useless. You can't trade with them, they don't give you anything, and they just sit there and take up space. I actually didn't have one of these previously, but when I took out the 2 villagers from the village over there, the other villagers like, oh shoot, there's a shortage of villagers, and they started having babies, and they produced a nitwit. So I went ahead and took the nitwit and put him in there instead of the cartographer, because I wanted to have the cartographer rather than that useless villager. So that's how I got that guy. And yeah, once I give these guys a bunch of food and I flip that lever inside of there, that villager will get pushed up, and he'll go 1 block higher than he is right now, which will create a village. And then that village will have more doors than it has more doors available than it does villagers. So this villager will tell the other ones below him that, hey, there's a shortage of villagers over here. And so those 2 will start having babies. And then the babies will fall into the water there, and they'll get carried away with the minecart, and then taken off here into the village over here. And that's pretty much how it all works. It's pretty simple, to be honest, and it works nicely, really. Hopefully it will work nicely, but it seems like everything is going as planned. So all I have to do now is just make a bridge over to the village over there, and then I'm going to have a activator rail, which will automatically disembark the villagers from the minecart, and then the minecart will get sent back here to the little villager beacon here, and then from there we can continue on with the rest of the build here. So once I start getting some baby villagers in there, I'm probably going to keep this thing running for a while until I notice that there's way too many villagers in the village, or that there's more villagers than I need. And then at that point I'll flick the lever and shut the whole thing down, and then I'll turn it back on if I ever need more villagers. So this is a nice little build to have. So I'm going to go ahead and feed those villagers, and I'll come back to you guys once we see this thing running. Alright everybody, it is done. Take a look at that. Ooh, I really did a good job on that, I can definitely tell. It looks like a really nice bridge leading to a really interesting beacon there. Why don't we take a walk along this bridge that I made? So yeah, I decided to go ahead and splurge and go all the way, so I went ahead and made a really nice bridge here that's got nice little walkway with fencing and everything. It's all protected for the villagers to travel along, and it also serves the purpose of getting me to the other side too. Because I figured if I'm going to make a bridge, I might as well make it a nice bridge that I can walk along to get to the mainland. So now I have a way of getting to the mainland from my main base there quickly. I can just take this nice little walkway and off I go. And as you can see, those little spruce pillars, they go all the way down to the bottom of the water, so it's very fitting. They're close together, which looks exactly like a railroad bridge would look like. And it just has all the demarcations of a rail bridge, so it looks really nice. It doesn't stick out too much either. It kind of follows the building scheme of the spruce color and then like the castle color over there too, so I think it's all just in exactly the way it should look for a bridge. Anyways, over here we have our little beacon here. Everything is ready to glow. I've collected my food. Let's go ahead and feed the villagers. So once I give these guys some food, they're going to just start making babies once I turn this little lever on here. So let's give this guy some food. I'm going to put it in the corner here so only he gets it. Okay, here's your food. He got his food. Alright. And I'm going to give you the potatoes. Got your potatoes. Here are your potatoes. Sweet. So they should have some food in their bellies now. They should be pretty much ready to go here. So let's go ahead and flick this lever and see what happens. That's probably not going to happen right away, but his head's sticking into that little fake village up there with the doors. And these guys are looking at each other real hard, and they're deciding whether or not they want to start having babies here. I'm going to try not to distract them. But yeah, if they start seeing hearts around our head, then we'll know that this thing is working. So let's see here. Oh, one more thing I forgot was, of course, the minecart here. And I need to power that rail, so I'll take care of that in just a minute, and I'll get back to you guys if I start seeing hearts here. They're looking at each other pretty close. I'm pretty sure they're gonna start having babies here. And just like that, I think I have it all working now. I just saw them do hearts just a second ago. So it turns out I actually made a mistake in the build. So that video I saw was actually for 1.13 and not for 1.13.2. Looking through the comments and the description, I found out that I needed to lower the doors by 1 in order to get the system to work. So I went ahead and did that. I lowered them by 1, and I just saw them make hearts just a second ago. I think they're a little bit camera shy right now. But let's see if they're going to make hearts for us. If they don't, then just take my word for it. It is working. Once they both go into love mode, they'll eventually make a little baby villager. And the baby villager will fall into that water. They'll float over here to the corner. The minecart will pick them up. And then it will take them off to the village. And then they'll be unloaded there. So yeah, everything seems to be working as the way it should be now. System is on. Oh, there you go. Just saw the hearts. So it looks like the librarian is in love mode, but the other one is not. So, but they'll both be in love mode in just a second or two, and then they'll start making babies. So, and then once the baby gets into here, I'm going to make sure that this whole system works. But they're going to go along this minecart rail. They're going to go in this direction. They're going to go down this ramp. And then there's an activator rail here, and if there's something inside of a minecart, when it goes onto an activator rail, it gets kicked off the minecart. So the baby villager will get kicked out of the minecart will return, and then the next baby villager will get picked up when it's time. So yeah, I'm not sure if this thing is going to work while I'm not in the area. I might have to AFK here in order to get the baby villagers to spawn, but yeah, it's definitely working the way it should be now, so it's all good. Yep, they're hearting away, so anyways, I'll get on to the next thing here in just a second. You hear that? We got ourselves some baby villagers around here. The village is growing indeed. And of course we have a useless villager now. I might try to swap him out with one of the villagers in there. Everything is working ideally, except for, of course, that the villager breeder is so far away that it's not being rendered. Or that is, the villagers are not being loaded, even though the chunks are being rendered. Oh, we have another baby right here. Let's see what we have here. You'll also notice that I had to add some powered rails so that the empty minecart can go along all the way back. And I had to add a one-way villager entrance and exit right here, so I could get through, but the villagers are not smart enough to get through that. Let's see what we have here. This guy looks like a farmer or a Fletcher. If he's a Fletcher, he can still harvest crops. If he's a farmer, I can trade with him to get good items. So we have 2 baby farmers / Fletchers right now. Oh, we got a big one now. Yep. And we can start planting things. And of course, the zombies are going nuts now that we have more villagers here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start planting some crop fields for the villagers to start planting and then destroying. That way they can start breeding on their own, because if I've been feeding them food by hand now, but I'm kind of tired of doing that. So I'm going to have them go ahead and start planting and then doing that themselves. So that's pretty much all the time I have for recording today. Unfortunately, it took me a while to build everything that you see here, and I just don't have a lot of time to record today. So this is all I have time for. But thank you guys very much for watching the episode. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. I definitely am looking for as many comments as possible. I haven't really been getting a lot of commenting on the video. So if you guys could just leave a comment on the video telling me what you think of the project today, and maybe possible suggestions for future projects, I'm always open to new ideas. But yeah, definitely please remember to keep doing that. Appreciate all the support you guys give me. I'm definitely going to keep making Minecraft videos. I apologize if I'm a little bit, if there's a little bit of a break between them, but I try my best to stay on a somewhat regular schedule. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody.